I don't know what it is, but I feel like the summer has not felt like the summer. I literally have a blanket because I'm cold all the time. It was 60 degrees yesterday in Michigan. I'm like, what is going on? Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. So I want to do an end of summer TBR. It's the middle of July, and to me, when August hits, I'm like, let's bring out the pumpkin spice. I want fall because fall is my favorite season ever. So to me, this is like the mid-end of summer, and I have a little TBR that I want to put out into the universe. To me, summer is about beach reads, just pool reads, romance, summer flings. So I have 8 books on this list that I would really like to get to before fall starts. I think for the most part they're all pretty summery. There's 2 of them that are fantasies, but I'll explain why I want to read them this summer. So if you're interested in my end of summer TBR, please like this video, give it a thumbs up, let me know what's on your summer TBR, and let's get started. So the first one is a library book, and it is Just Last Night by this author. I'm going to butcher it if I try to pronounce it. I don't even think you can see that. But I saw Haley Pham read this in a video recently, and she gave it 5 stars, and she was like crying and reading quotes, and I was like, oh my gosh, I need to read this. I picked it up from the library yesterday, and it genuinely looked amazing. It looks so good. The reason why I haven't started it yet is because I leave for a 2.5-week vacation tomorrow, and I'm not taking any physical books with me, just my Kindle, and I know that I want to savor the experience, and I didn't want to rush through it, so that's why this book is not going to be read by me until at least the end of July. After I checked this book out last night, I was like, oh my gosh, like the quotes are really good. I kind of like flipped in the middle, which I shouldn't do because it gave away something to me, but I was just reading the first 3 pages and I was like, oh my gosh, I want to read it. And if I actually really wanted to, I could read 200 pages now, 200 pages tomorrow, bam. But I don't want to do that. I want to savor this book. This looks like it's about a friendships that have gone on for a very, very long time, and one of the characters has always been in love with another character, and then something happened and the world, it changed after. It seemed really emotional, a lot of depth in the love story, and I'm very excited for that. I love emotional depth in my love stories, even if it's summer, and I'm so excited to read this. Okay, number 2, we have a list that's been on my TBR for a long time, and that's Everything I Know About Love by Dolly Alderton. I think this is one of the first books I downloaded on my Kindle when I got a Kindle over a year ago, and I still have not read it. It's so embarrassing, I know. I think this is a nonfiction book that everyone's like, oh my gosh, if you're in your 20s, you should read it. It tells you all about life and yada yada yada. I want to be by the pool or on a beach and just read this book and be enlightened, and I need that experience. But every single time I'm on a beach, I either read a romance book or I fall asleep, and I need to read this book. Like, I literally need to read it this summer at the top of my summer TBR. I feel like everyone and their mom had read it and said it was life-changing, and I love a good nonfiction book, a good little advice book, so I need to read this. Number 3 is a fantasy book, and it's a fantasy book that I have been wanting to read, and I feel like everybody has been reading, and that is Heartless Hunter. It's on Kindle Unlimited, and I love a good fantasy. Fantasy is my genre, and the reason why I want to read this book is because I don't know anything about it other than it is a true enemy to lovers. The hunter and the hunted fall in love, and I love that. Like, that's just so spicy. I don't know, it's just a super exciting dynamic, and hopefully it's not as traumatizing as Haunting Adeline, because it's like kind of the same thing. Not really. I don't know, I'm in a weird mood, but I want to read Heartless Hunter this summer. I just think that when I reach more into fall, I want to read cozy fantasies or maybe even high fantasies, and this gives more of a romantic element, which I think is really fitting for summer. Number 4 is a cute little romance, and that is The Dixon Rule by Ella Kennedy. I don't know anything about this other than it's the second book in the series that has The Graham Effect, and I surprisingly ate The Graham Effect up. I gave that like a 4.25, 4.5 stars, and I still remember that my reading experience with that was super fun and flirty and exciting. This is about a dancer and one of the hockey players, Shane, I believe, who I really loved in The Graham Effect. if I'm remembering correctly, and I just know that this is gonna be a fun, silly, goofy book with lots of spice, and that's perfect for the summer, and that's what I want. And I love the Off-Campus series. I didn't read the Prior You book. I haven't really heard great things about it. I'm not planning on reading it. Let me know if I should, but I will be reading The Dixon Rule, hopefully this summer. Okay, the next book is not really a book, it's an author, and that is an Ellen Hilderbrand book. I must read a book by her, and hopefully it's this summer, because I have heard that she is like the perfect author to read in the summer. She gives rich aunt vibes, and I'm gonna be a rich aunt with no kids and a million cats. And I think that's the vibe that she gives off, and I don't know really what book to read. I think I'm just gonna go on Libby and pick whatever one's available. I don't know what any of her books are about. I think they're beach settings, romances, perfect for the summer and the beach, and I'm craving that book. Like, I'm just craving the feeling of a summer book, and I feel like she's gonna give it to me. Okay, the next book that I want to read, this is actually 3 books. I want to read the Friend Zone series by Abby Jimenez and just get through her backlist. I have read the whole Part of Your World series, those 3 books that are out. Well, literally the best books ever. I love Abby Jimenez, and I've heard that her backlist is also really good, and I really want to get through that. I don't know anything about them other than their romances. People like them, and I really want to read them. And I saw that these are on Kindle Unlimited. I don't know if they've always been on Kindle Unlimited. I haven't seen them previously before, but I know I love Abby's writing. It's very interesting to see, like, when you love an author and then you go back and read their older book, kind of the evolution, and you could find something that you really like. So I really want to read her backlist this summer. Next, this is kind of random. I really want to read Me Before You. I watched this movie not knowing anything about it. I just saw a hot man on the movie cover, and I watched this movie on a plane ride, a very long plane ride, when I went to Nepal years and years ago, and literally sobbed. Like, I was sobbing on the plane. The flight attendant had to come up to me, ask me if everything was okay. I was like, no, but leave me alone, please, because no one see me in this state. I was really sobbing. I don't really remember much about the movie other than I thought it was beautiful and a very big sad thing that happens at the end. But I've always wanted to read the book because I feel like the book is gonna be better. I haven't read anything by this author and I really want to. And the last book on my summer TBR is Reckless by Lauren Roberts. Number 1, I just want to read this because Powerless left off in a crazy way, and I just must know what happened. I feel like this book is going to be very frustrating to me because of what happened at the end, and I know the author said that she's building up to a 3rd book, and I don't want this whole 2nd book to be build up, set up the scene, and then it's like boring, and I'm like, oh my god, why is there miscommunication? I hope there's none of that. I don't really know what to expect, but I feel like this will be a really good transitional book to read into fall. It's more of that romantic-y element rather than high fantasy, which again, I feel like it's really good during light reading times, aka summer. I don't know why I feel like summer is just that season, but it is, and that's what I want to read. Alright everybody, I hope you really enjoyed this video. Again, let me know what's on your summer TBR, and I'll see you in my next video. Also, please send me good vibes and energy that I can actually read all of this. Okay, bye.